Sup Everybody? What's going on? I hope all of y'all feather muckers are doing undeniably fan-friggin-tastic out there. It's Monday, and you know what that means. It's vlog day once again. And folks, we've reached the end of this chapter. Whatever the new chapter of life holds, time shall tell. But folks, I'm heading back to my hometown Thursday. There is no way out of it. Not this time. But my self-standard soldiers, I need to confess that even I have been having my doubts. I have been having conflicting thoughts. I was debating in my mind over and over and over again if whether or not this was the right choice. If whether or not it really was time. Even though I made peace with the fact of knowing that it was time, I was still trying to think about a way to get out of it. I was thinking, what if this was to happen here? What if this was to happen there? I was praying to God, like, Lord, if this was the right move, show me. If you want me to stay longer, I will. But if not, okay, I'm ready to go back if you want me to. Alright. But last night, right before I fell asleep, I got a text from my preacher, my hometown preacher. One of them anyway, because I went to two churches down there. But my preacher Keith, he texted me and he asked if I want to be Barabbas in the play. And as soon as he asked me that, it like jogged a memory. Alright. Let me take you back to the year that was 2020. Right before the major pandemic shutdown actually happened. Alright. So, we were setting up for a play for Easter weekend. Alright. We was practicing the play and I was given the role of being Barabbas. And for those of you that don't know, when Jesus was crucified, there was a trial going on, and there was a crowd that had to choose who was going to get set free. It was either going to be Barabbas or Jesus, and everybody wanted Barabbas to get free. All right. That's what my role in the story was. Okay, I was Barabbas. All right. So, like, through all the practices though, we was just like 2 weeks away from doing the play, and then that's when the pandemic shutdown hit. And even though we had hopes that we could get to it that year, that wasn't the case, so we just ended up having to take the whole set down. Alright, just had to take the whole set down, and that was it. Alright, so now it looks like we're trying again. Alright, but now it was like shortly after the pandemic shut down, that's when I got the offer to come visit up here. Alright, and after a couple of visits, church eventually did reopen, and I remember riding to the church with my preacher, and I made him a promise. I told him, I said, Preacher Keith, look, even if I do make this move, which I did, I would still find a way to be Barabbas for the play. I would still try to find a way to participate in it if I can. Alright, so needless to say, what comes around, what comes around comes around. How's it go? What comes around comes, I don't know. All I know is I made a promise, and it's time to fulfill said promise. Alright, I'm ready to be Barabbas. Now look, folks, when I go back to my home city, it's not going to be just constant rapid fire. No. It's going to take some readjusting, okay? I got to get my house back in order. I got to get my house reorganized, if you will. Got to move some things here, got to move some things there, got to rearrange some furniture, that kind of stuff. Just make sure the house gets settled, okay? That's going to take some time. Alright? But, yeah, folks. That's looking forward to the far future. Let's talk about the near future, okay? So, yeah, the near future coming up. Alright? I do have some uploads ready to go for this week. Some uploads, not all of them yet. Right now, at this point, I'm just going to try to wing it. Alright? Because from Thursday to Sunday, that's going to start getting a little tricky. Alright? So, tomorrow, there's going to be an episode of the SelfStandard show. Okay? An episode of the SelfStandard show, you're going to be seeing a new intro, and you're going to be seeing all 3 channels of the SelfStandard brand, the Reaction channel, the SSP channel, and the original channel, James SelfStandard, all getting rearranged and remodeled. Okay? So there will be a new intro coming tomorrow, and for my end screens now, I will no longer be promoting the Life with Roy podcast on those. Okay? I can't. If Life with Roy podcast are going to be their own series going forward, it won't be fair to the other series just promoted there. I still have a plan to go live on the Friday before the Royal Rumble at 1 p.m. Alright, so I'll keep that in mind. Alright? But, yeah, folks. So, other than that, this week, tomorrow, I got a upload going up for the SelfStandard show. For the SelfStandard show, I'm going to be talking about movies that I have not seen yet. Alright? There's a lot of movies I have seen, but then again, there's a lot of movies I haven't. Alright? Wednesday, there's going to be an episode of My Dear Letters to Cody Rhodes. Got a lot to say about that dude. Thursday might be an episode of I Draw, or that might be Friday. Thursday may very well be an episode of Eagles Education. Not quite sure yet. Alright, because the thing is, like, I'm not sure if I can really upload an OSG this week or not. I might have to do an OMG look as a last minute. But we'll see how it goes. If there is going to be an OSG, it's probably going to be Saturday. Alright? Saturday as a premiere at about 1 p.m. Alright, so y'all keep that in mind. But, let's see here, what else? Sunday, it might be a match upload. Okay, and real quick, I need to apologize about something. With the way situations and circumstances have gone down, I'm sorry, but I personally feel like I just do not want to upload my last 2 matches from American Pro Wrestling. The one that I had on January 1st and the one that I had this past Saturday. Why am I congratulating myself? Spoiler alert, yes, I won, but that wasn't the issue. Okay? I wish I could go into details about it, but I just can't. From a professional speaking standpoint, I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. Okay? So, the best way I can sum it up was I was embarrassed. Okay? I was embarrassed looking at the footage. That's the best way I can describe it. So, I lost my match with Chris James, but I did win my match with Dusty Money. Alright, but again, there's situations that was regarding both of the matches that I am just conflicted that I cannot upload them, okay? But, good news though, this coming Friday, January the 14th, I will be defending I'm assuming I'm going to be defending my APW Carolinas Championship against somebody that I don't know yet. I'm not sure who my challenger is. I guess I'll find out later on this week. But I'll upload the footage of that match Sunday. Okie dokie? Alright. So, yeah, folks. Other than that, I gave y'all a warning last week. Alright? And I'm going to give you a countdown about what that warning was. Alright? I need to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. So, January 1st, I actually got to go watch it, and it was amazing. Okay? So, I got to give my review on some of the stuff I thought about it. Okay? So, spoiler talk coming in 3, 2, 1, go. If you haven't seen it yet, click that timestamp to skip. Okay? Alright, so if you haven't clicked the timestamp yet, let's go forward, alright? Alright folks, so where do I begin? Because I don't have nothing written down. I'm just going based solely off memory, so my thoughts may be scattered and my brain may be operating like a cat almost. Alright. So, what did I think about Spider-Man No Way Home? I think the first place I need to talk about is like how cool I thought it was to see Doc Ock's tentacles get taken over by Spider-Man's new suit, or the Tony Stark suit, you know? Seeing it like, what would happen if Iron Man was to take over Doc Ock's tentacles, because look, I know both of them are nanotech, so that's pretty cool. But, like, I was kind of disappointed when Osborn broke his own helmet. That was kind of sad, because I was like really hoping to see that helmet being utilized a lot more often. But when the Green Goblin and when Parker had that fight in that apartment complex, that fight was awesome. Like I saw Spider-Man, Peter Parker just like going ballistic on him, like boom, 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 and just God was just like laughing and no selling it. That fight sequence was awesome, and like I could have swore I saw a power bomb in that fight sequence, and I could have swore I also saw a spine buster somewhere in there. Okay, but like when I saw Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension, I was totally not expecting to see the mirror dimension collapse in on itself and shatter thanks to Spider-Man's web. Okay, that was just whoa. But to also see Doctor Strange get tied up with Spider-Man's web in his own mirror dimension, leaving him dangling over the Grand Canyon for 12 hours, that shocked me. Okay, that really shocked me right there. Alright, and I was watching the movie in the theater with Queen Enterprises. Okay, Queen Enterprises, thank you. That date was incredible. But when I saw Aunt May die, I'll admit I was legitimately heartbroken. Like that was the last thing I wanted to see. Okay, and I was trying to prevent myself from crying. That's how powerful the scene was. I don't think a Marvel movie was ever capable of trying to make me cry, but this one almost did it. Like I did feel my eyes getting wet. That's how powerful the scene was. Okay. But, real quick, before we go any further, I need to give 2 big imaginary middle fingers to YouTube for spoiling this one for me. Alright. I mean, yes, sure, everybody probably expected it, because it was just too good not to be true. But everybody was speculating if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire was going to be in this movie, which they were. But, like, YouTube's recommended feed was like, screw your spoiler avoidance, here it is, pow, right in your face, right on your home screen. So yeah, YouTube ruined that pop for me. But still though, just the little details they were putting into Andrew showing up. Just like the little details, okay? We get it, Spider-Man is associated with webs. Right? Just like the little thing. where Spider-Man was like, well, where Andrew was just crawling on the ceiling just to go get a cobweb. It's little things like that that make it comedic genius. So I gotta applaud Marvel for that. Okay, I really do. Alright, so, but Tobey Maguire looking like a cool youth pastor, that was cool. I don't know, I was kind of like expecting the pointing at each other scene to be a lot more enthusiastic, you know? Like when Ned called Peter in the laboratory and they started pointing to each other like that. And also when they was like on that structure of the Lady Liberty, talking about you're Peter 2, you're Peter 3, I'm Peter 1, stuff like that. Like, I was expecting the pointing to be a lot more genuine, you know? Like I was expecting it to be like a zoomed out camera shot of them pointing at each other. That's what I was kind of expecting, but they didn't get to that, unfortunately. But still, there was pointing at each other. Just a little teeny tiny bit. Alright. So they got the point across some way. See what I did there? Alright. But, yeah though, other than that, like, once they did go back to their universes, I was expecting, I was curious to know how everything was going to be playing out with everybody being cured, now that nobody had to die. Alright. So, like, gee Louise. When Tom Holland's Peter went to go kill Osborn with the glider, and Tobey Maguire stopped him, just that silent look in the eyes that Tobey was giving Tom, he was like, no, I see where you're going with this, don't do it, it's not worth it. Okay. So, that part right there was very powerful, indeed it was. But there was some plot holes in this thing that was like kind of unexplained. And like some scenes that could have been like avoided, you know? Like for example, one thing I was curious about is like the spell that got casted. Okay, the spell that got casted to make the whole world forget about Peter Parker. Okay, the whole world forgot about Peter Parker being Spider-Man, and just like Doctor Strange saying it was like Peter Parker never existed. But I thought the spell was everyone on Earth. Technically, isn't Nick Fury still in space? Wouldn't he still know? And like, I'm sure there's like some time travel issues going on to where you could go back to a time before the spell where everybody still knew about Peter Parker, you know? But wouldn't it have made everything easier for the spell to be just like, let everybody forget who Spider-Man was? That way, if Spider-Man does show up, they'll be like, oh, he's just like a new hero or something like that. So, there was an idea right there. But another thing I was thinking, like, even though the whole world forgot Peter Parker was Spider-Man, I know Peter still has Tony Stark's suit. Does the technology at least still recognize him? Does it? A lot of unanswered questions. There's a good chance that this was indeed Tom Holland's last Spider-Man film, but does that mean that we're going to be seeing... But does that mean we're just not going to see Spider-Man in the MCU anymore going forward? I hope not, because he's definitely got to have a good role in Avengers 5 when that gets released eventually. But, yeah, folks. That's been my ramblings about... ramblings. That's been my spoiler discussion about Spider-Man No Way Home. And if you'll click the timestamp to just get to me saying that part, welcome back to the vlog. Alright? But yeah, folks, we're about to go ahead and wrap this thing on up now. We're going to take this home, after talking about No Way Home, when I'm going home. Okay? So yeah, whatever the future holds, let's remember what the New Year's resolution was. Let's remember the lesson learned from this time. And the biggest lesson I learned was, don't be afraid. There's no need to fear. Thank all of you for watching. Hope all of you tune in and enjoy the content going on this week. And until next time, make sure all of you remember to be outrageously optimistic year-round. Booyah. I'm out. I love you all. And here comes my hug of appreciation once I get these gums out of the way. Bye.